welcome back to another video on Full-Time Purpose. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 most important factors that go into you growing your YouTube channel. Now it's interesting because recently I just got asked from somebody's videos that I've been watching for a while to actually go to LA to meet up with this person to help them with their YouTube channel. So it's kind of funny. So a lot of the stuff that I said to them, to him and his company, is going to be things that I also say to you. And I want you to be able to get the same type of benefit. And it has to do with understanding some principles, that if you apply these principles in everything you do, it changes everything. And some of it may seem a little bit repetitive too, because Victor and I have talked many times before about some of the concepts I'm about to share, but it's really the thing that's underemphasized. But if you just focus on these 3 things, everything in your YouTube channel will begin to grow at a much more exponential rate. Now, these are also things that took Victor and I a while to learn, because I know Victor started a couple different YouTube channels before he settled with his channel. Me, for example, I made videos for about 6 to 8 months before I had any growth at all. I was growing by like maybe a couple subscribers a day for a long time, and I was doing weekly videos. But then when I learned these things, these are what changed everything. So the 3 most important factors that go into you growing your YouTube channel is the first one is going to be the one that we talk the most about. It's value. It's how much value do people get when they watch your videos. And even this works when you're looking at different channels that maybe just do entertainment. They're like, well, hey man, I'm not in the info space like you, I'm not in personal development, but I'm in this type of category. Value can also be an emotion. But it's about understanding that when you add value, you give people a reason to watch the channel. So what I thought to myself when I started making videos and when I started taking it up a notch, which is another one I'll be talking about here in a minute, is I thought to myself, how can I add value to the people that listen? And it was almost like I would always put things that I was saying into terms that were practical. Like that's the thing with, if you've seen my YouTube channel, then it's all about practical advice, practical tools, because a lot of the info and the space that I'm in, which is like metaphysics, law of attraction, it's all very theoretical. I wanted to make things like, okay, this is what I can do. So when people thought of the law of attraction or whatever I'm teaching, they thought of me, they thought of practicality. They thought, that's something I can do, that's relatable. So what you want to think of is, in your niche, how can you add value, either from your personal experience, just sharing your stories, maybe it's a certain emotion you have. How do people feel when they're around your energy? And you can start to pay attention to what that is. But in general, if you focus on the value that you give to the people that watch, you're going to give them a reason to subscribe. And the more value you add to them, the more likely it is for your channel to grow. Now that value could be an emotion, could be a positive emotion that you make people feel, maybe you're funny, or maybe it's even more of a dramatic type thing. It's something that triggers people's emotion in a different way and gets them thinking about their life in a different way. However, when it comes to being somebody that is more in tune with their passion, and even beyond their passion, their purpose, I find that when you do this, it just works in so many different ways, because what you put out literally is what you get back. So when you're adding value to other people can feel that, and they're more likely to then share your content, and they're more likely to also stick around. Now, the second most important factor that goes into you growing your YouTube channel has to do with this: consistency. Consistency. So when you focus on consistency, consistently putting out content, consistently adding value, that's where things really begin to happen. And if you heard my story, then I made videos every week for about 8 months, and then all of a sudden I said, you know what, I'm going to go and do a video every single day and add as much value as I can. So what I did is I started to make a video every single day. And this was back in February 2017. And when I did that, it was the consistency that took my channel to the next level. Because then people stuck around, because they're like, he's going to make a video every day, I might as well subscribe. And that's when the watch time and the YouTube algorithm, an important part of it is the watch time. So when you're doing daily videos, you increase the watch time over and over and over again, and then you keep compounding it. It keeps growing. And then what happens is, the way YouTube works, a lot of people don't know this, but the way YouTube works is the more often you create content, the more often YouTube will promote your videos to other people in the suggested tab. So your videos are actually suggested more often when you are consistent. So this is why I recommend in general going at least 3 to 5 times a week. 3 to 5 times a week is a very solid foundation to where when you put that energy into it, you're going to start to see results. If you're doing it once a month, it's something that takes a lot of time for you to get results back from, for you to see and kind of calibrate as to how people are feeling about it. So for example, I started making videos, and originally it was just general awareness videos. I made a couple videos on the law of attraction, and then all of a sudden people are like, I want more on this. Can you make more videos on the law of attraction? So I gauged it, and then I started making more on it, and now that's kind of like my reputation on YouTube, is that kind of person that makes that kind of videos. However, it comes from consistency. It's funny, I made a post the other day on Instagram, and what I was talking about was how I had the buddy that I met up with. His name's Owen. He has a YouTube channel, and he has a whole bunch of people in his company that all have, you know, around 100,000 subs, and he has a great following with what he does. And what I did is I showed him everything, and we ended up connecting as friends. He made a post on Instagram that was kind of shouting me out, like, oh man, YouTube's coming out with some great speakers, blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of, you know, it was cool, and it was to be put in that category. But one thing he said is, he's like, you know, if you want to be good at something, the key is to do it every day. Because I told him, I was like, I make videos every single day, and I have for almost 2 years. It's the consistency. Because then, as you do it consistently, you get better and better at it. So when he said that, it reminded me, it's like, oh yeah, you know, of course I'm going to get better and better at it because I do it every single day. So I posted something on Instagram and said, you know, was kind of talking about how he mentioned that and said, yes, it's consistency. But what I said is, I equated that on a calculator. Me making 365 videos for a year, and I've been doing it for over a year, is like, you know, so many videos, 365 videos. If I were to do one a week, that would take me 30 years to get the same amount of experience rather than me going every single day. So you see, it would take me 30 years to learn what I've learned in a year by going daily versus going every, you know, whatever it is, going once every 2 weeks or every week. So that's the kind of difference that we make when we are consistent about something, because we also get better, and then what happens is it just starts to go all the way around. Now, the third one's going to be the most practical tip. These are the energy foundations of everything. If you want to grow on YouTube, one of the things that's just kind of the way it is thumbnails. This is like something that not everyone talks about, but thumbnails, what you want to be thinking of is your thumbnails on YouTube. A big portion of that is whether people click on your thumbnails or not to see your videos in general. So what you want to be thinking of is, how can you make your thumbnails very attractive on mobile? Think about it, on a mobile phone that's about this big. Now that I got the iPhone Plus a little bit bigger, but when you're scrolling through, you're seeing these video thumbnails. So sometimes what you make on your desktop for your YouTube channel will be this big thing in Photoshop. The thing is though, is people will not see that on a mobile if the text is really small. So if there's one thing that you start to do, besides these two things at the foundation of value and consistency, it would be to make your thumbnails and to use text that people can see. Make text that are maybe even half the size of the video. You want it to be something that people see, and you want to think of stuff that's very engaging. Is it something that you would click on if you saw it? Is it something that's very curious? You know, sometimes my videos, people give my videos and they're like, oh, it's you know, I'm kind of edgy with my titles sometimes, but guess what? It gets clicks, and not just that, people get on it, and once they get on the video, they're happy they're on it because then they learn something. So I've had a lot of people that are like, you know, I wasn't going to click on this video, but I clicked on it. I'm so glad I did because I learned something that changed my life. That's something that's worth clicking on. So whether it's like, sometimes we're afraid to be a little bit edgy, like we don't want to get people to click on, but if you have a gift and you have something that you want to share with the world, it's almost your duty to get it out in front of people. Now do it with what's integral for you, do it with what you feel authentic with, but me knowing that the more people that click on it, the more people have the potential to change their lives, allows me to be a little bit more edgy with my thumbnails. And by edgy I mean a little bit like I use thumbnails like, you know, this can change your life or something. You know, that seems a little bit clickbaity, but the idea is that then people, once they click on, they're happy they clicked on because it has the ability to change their life. Now the thing is that video does have the ability to change someone's life. So is it clickbait if it's actually true? Because if you go through a lot of the comments on those videos, you'll see people like, this video changed my life or whatever it is. You see what I mean? So the reason I'm saying all this is because these are things you want to think about when it comes to your YouTube channel. But if the first two foundations aren't in, and you're just making like thumbnails that aren't you're making thumbnails that are very engaging, but the content isn't there for people to connect to, then it's going to be for nothing. You want to make sure that it's these three things all in tandem. You want the value that you give to other people to be something that people really connect to. You want consistency. The more consistent you are, the more watch time you're going to get. The more watch time you get, the more your channel grows. The more you post, the more YouTube will suggest your content to other creators. Thirdly, thumbnails. Make the text bigger, make it something that gets people curious to click on, make it something that they are happy that once they clicked on, you provided in all of these different ways, and things will begin to change for you. So these are the foundations of my whole YouTube channel, how I've gone from 3,000 subscribers in February 2017 to now almost 400,000 subscribers. And it's something that I think can also change the course of your YouTube channel if you apply it. So if you want more tips like this, and you want to learn more about Victor and I's formula for how we exploded our YouTube channels, plus grew our businesses, and have been able to live the kind of lifestyle we have a free training that's in the top of the description box below. It will help you throughout all the process of how to do these different things, plus how to grow the business side of it, which is something that will allow you to have more and more freedom. So, like I said, absolutely free training, top of the description box below. And other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.